Good morning. It is Tuesday, August 25th, and this is our 10-minute English News Cafe.
I brought my notebook, but I hope coffee does most of the work today.
Fair. We have a movie milestone, a phone full of tools, and a serious public debate.
A mixed breakfast plate, but I am ready.
Today's keyword is raise the bar. We say it when one result makes a higher standard feel normal.
I like that already. It sounds like someone moved the goal higher before I finished my first sip.
Exactly. It fits when one result makes a higher standard feel normal.
So it can feel exciting, but also a little intimidating when you are the next person up.
That fits today. A film reaches a rare mark, a phone promises less effort, and a law asks platforms for more.
One raises box office expectations, one raises camera expectations, and one raises a difficult question.
We will keep each story clear, then let the conversation breathe.
Please do. My brain likes facts better with chairs and snacks.
First, Spider-Man reaches a number only a few films have reached.
Then Google puts a thinner camera bar and more artificial intelligence into new Pixel phones.
Finally, Australia's under-16 account rules become a real-world test.
That last one already makes me want to listen carefully instead of rushing to choose a side.
Subscribe for another short English Cafe tomorrow, and let's begin with the movie screen.
Coffee ready? Let's go.
Backquote Spider-Man, Brand New Day, backquote, stayed #1 in North America in its third weekend and added $70 million.
Third weekend? Still first? That movie refuses to leave the dance floor.
Yes. It passed $2 billion globally. In about 18 days, the second fastest film to do that.
That number is so large, my popcorn needs a calculator.
Overseas markets added $118.7 million that weekend.
So the audience outside North America gave it another giant push too.
Together, those results pushed the film past $2 billion worldwide.
$2 billion is more than a good weekend. It makes the ticket counter look mythical.
AP reported that only 8 films have reached that landmark, without adjusting for inflation.
Only 8? Every person saying, "I'll see it later," suddenly sounds powerful.
The report called it the second fastest film to cross $2 billion, taking about 18 days.
18 days is barely enough time for me to choose a movie snack.
Sony had already reported a $932 million global opening weekend after the film's July 31st release.
So the opening was not one-night fireworks. People kept coming back.
That launch explains the big headline. The third weekend result shows the excitement did not fade after opening night.
Like a cafe staying full after the first day buzz, not just because everyone wanted a photo at the door.
The pattern is a record opening, then strong attendance through week 3.
It raises the bar for later big releases, even if nobody wants that pressure.
It does not predict the next release. It only shows how unusual this particular run has been.
That feels calmer. A record can be exciting without making every future ticket a test.
Right. The phrase fits when one result changes what people see as possible.
I imagine studio teams checking numbers, then moving coffee away from the keyboard.
Simply put, this film reached a rare global level quickly.
And I feel that Spider-Man still knows how to make crowds show up.
Which number stays with you most? 70 million, 118.7 million, or 2 billion?
2 billion. It makes one ticket feel like a thread in a huge web.
A lovely picture of a worldwide box office.
Now I want a tiny web-shaped receipt with the next movie.
Google unveiled 4 new Pixel phones with slimmer camera bars and new AI tools.
A thinner camera bar matters when your phone wobbles on a cafe table.
Google says the lineup promotes slimmer camera bars.
That makes coffee table videos less dramatic in a practical way.
The company says the phones help people complete tasks with fewer taps and swipes.
That gets my attention. My thumbs have filled enough tiny forms for one lifetime.
Google presents those tools as ways to remove little pauses, not as magic that makes every task disappear.
I do not need a tiny genius. I need fewer moments of tapping the wrong box with one tired thumb.
The 3 non-folding models start with 256 gigabytes and faster wireless charging.
Starting at 256 suggests Google noticed how many photos people keep, just in case.
Google also says the new phones offer 30 hours of battery life, and it removed the 128 gigabyte option.
More storage and battery help, but my charger still deserves a bow.
New tools include live translation for videos, podcasts, and voice messages.
That could change a bus ride. Another language might stop feeling locked away.
Magic Capture takes a series of photos and video with one shutter tap.
Finally, a tool for the moment, when everyone smiles perfectly, 1 second before I press anything.
In higher models, a new tool is designed to capture dark scenes faster.
Good. My evening photos usually contain one street lamp and mysterious shadows.
Each feature targets a small frustration, following words, catching a moment, or seeing better in the dark.
And none of them helps much if it stays hidden. I want help before I need a manual.
In the United States, the standard phone starts at $900. 2 higher models start at $100 and $300.
Those prices make the new tricks a careful decision, not a casual impulse.
The foldable model starts at $900. The first 3 prices are $100 higher than last year's.
So the bar rises twice, what the phone does and what buyers pay.
Fair. The launch pairs convenience claims with a clear price increase.
I would test translation first, then stare at the price until coffee got cold.
Which feature would you try first? Live translation, Magic Capture, or faster night photos?
Live translation. A small screen could open more of the world.
Australia requires some social media platforms to stop under 16s from creating or keeping accounts.
That sounds big, so I want the rule clear before deciding how I feel.
The rule has applied since December 10, 2025, and places responsibility on platforms.
So a teenager is not the one being punished for having an account?
Correct. The rules do not penalize under 16 users, parents, or carers.
That matters. It changes blame kids into ask companies to act.
That distinction matters because the policy sets duties for platforms. It does not say young people did something wrong.
Yes. The question becomes whether companies can make a safer doorway without closing every window.
Platforms can face penalties up to 54.6 million Australian dollars if they do not take reasonable steps.
A serious number. This is not a friendly email reminder.
The rules do not block every kind of online access for younger people.
I am glad you said that. Ban can sound like the whole internet disappears.
Under 16s can still see public content that does not require an account.
So watching public content and holding an account are treated differently.
Many standalone gaming, messaging, health, and education services are not covered either.
The boundary is clearer, even if the questions stay huge.
Smithsonian reported that more than 1 million young people are effectively part of a policy experiment.
Experiment makes me pause. Real families live inside the answer while researchers seek it.
Australia's eSafety Commissioner funds an evaluation involving more than 4,000 adolescents and parents or carers.
More useful than shouting a quick opinion from the sidelines.
It involves adolescents along with parents or carers, not adolescents alone.
That matters. A rule can feel very different from inside a family.
For now, the fact is that eSafety is funding that evaluation.
Then I'll stay with the questions rather than pretend we already know the answer.
Smithsonian noted that evidence about social media's effects on most adolescents remains inconclusive.
So the honest answer is not perfect or pointless. It is keep looking carefully.
Here, the phrase can mean asking platforms and research for a higher standard of care.
And asking us to hold a complicated thought past one headline.
3 ways to raise the bar: a rare movie milestone, capable phones, and stricter platform responsibility.
They are not cheerful in the same way, but each asks people to notice a higher standard.
A higher bar can be a celebration, a shopping question, or a responsibility people need to examine.
Same phrase, different feeling. That is why today did not sound like only one kind of news.
Spider-Man shows what a huge audience can do over several weekends.
Pixel makes me ask whether a helpful tool earns its price.
Australia's rules remind us that protection, access, and evidence can matter together.
I will keep thinking about that story, because simple answers are easier.
Take today's phrase. To raise the bar is to set a higher standard for what comes next.
Sometimes that thrills you, and sometimes you hold coffee with both hands.
Which story raises the bar most for you, and why? Spider-Man, Pixel tools, or Australia's account rules?
Tell us in any language. We enjoy thoughtful comments from around the world.
Thank you for your Tuesday. Subscribe and come back tomorrow for another English News Cafe.
See you tomorrow. Keep curiosity high, even when the bar moves higher.